Students, welcome to Anne's classes. Let's do unitary method, the multiple choice type. Now this is chapter 8, found on page number 114. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. In question 1, we have this. In the computer lab of class 7, 8 computers are required for 10 students. So the number of computers required for 40 students is one of these answers. Okay, so we've been told 8 computers are required for 10 students. So let's write that. That means number of computers required for 10 students is 8. Now here we have to use the unitary method. So unitary method means we find for one student. Okay, so number of computers required for 10 students is 8. Now we write number of computers required for one student. Okay, so for 10 students it is 8. That means for one student it's going to be less than 8, isn't it? So whenever it is less, you have to divide. So this will be 8 divided by 10. So this is the number of computers required for one student. Now our question is the number of computers required for 40 students. So in the next statement we say number of computers required for 40 students. For one student, if it is so much, 40 students it will be this into 40. So that is 8 by 10 into 40. Now we can cancel here. I can cancel the 0 and the 0. Now it's only 1 here, and now multiply the numerators. 8 fours are 32. 32 by 1, which is 32. So what have we found? We have found the number of computers required for 40 students, and that is 32. So which option is that? It is option 1, 32. Question 2. 6 identical pens cost 90 rupees. We have to find the cost of 15 such pens. So, cost of 6 pens is already given to us, and that is 90 rupees. So, we have to find the cost of 1 pen. So, if 6 pens can cost 90 rupees, 1 pen will be less than this, isn't it? So, 90 divided by 6. 90 divided by 6. Leave it as it is. Now we are asked to find the cost of 15 pence. So cost of 15 pence will be, now we know the cost of 1 pen. It's so much. So the cost of 15 pence will be this into 15. So that is 90 by 6, which is the cost of 1 pen, into 15. Now we can cancel. So here let's see what we can cancel. I can cancel this with 3. 3 2s are 6 and 3 5s are 15. I can again cancel 19 by 2. 90 by 2, and that is 2 1s are 2, and 2 into 45 is 90. Now I have to multiply 45 into 5. And that is 225. So we have found the cost of 15 pence, and that is rupees 225, the cost of 15 pence. Question 3. 6 men can do a piece of work in 90 days. In how many days will 15 men complete the same work? Now there are two ways of doing it. I'll show you both the ways and you can decide which one is easier for you. Okay, let's read this again. 6 men can do a piece of work in 90 days. Let's write that statement. 6 men can do a piece of work in how many days? 90 days. Now we have been asked to find in how many days will 15 men complete. So first we have to find out in how many days will one person complete. That means one man can do the work in how many days. Now look carefully, children. There are 6 men, and when 6 men are doing the work, they can finish it in 90 days. Suppose that same work can be done only by one man, he will take more number of days, isn't it? So when we have to find more, it is multiplication. That means 90 into 6. So let's do that. 90 into 6, and that is 540. So one man will take 540 days to complete the work. So now we've been asked to find how many days 15 men will take. So one man will take 540 days. But if 15 men are going to do it together, they will take less number of days, isn't it? They will take 540 divided by 15. So let's write that 540 divided by 15. Why are we dividing? We are dividing because 15 men will finish the work early in less number of days, isn't it? So we are dividing it here. So now let's cancel. I can cancel this by 5. 5 threes are 15, 5 ones are 5, 5 eights are 40. So now we have 108. Now if I cancel this, 3 threes are 9, 18, 3 sixes are 18. So we have 36. That means 15 men can do the work in 36 days. So our answer here is option 2, 36. So this is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is the arrow method. So let me teach you the arrow method. In the arrow method, we have to make two columns. First thing, we have to make two columns. Now here, what are the numbers we have? We have the number 6 here, 6 men, and again we have the number here 90 days. So our columns have to be men and days. So what you don't know, what you're asked to find, make that your first column. So in how many days? Okay, so days is going to be the first column. So you're going to have days and men. So days is first. So let's write days. So days, and then we have men. So under days, we're going to write the number of days. So in 90 days, how many men will finish the work? 6 men will finish the work. Now they're asking us in how many days. So we don't know the number of days. So we're going to put X here. Will 15 men complete the work? So let's look at the men here. So here, as you can see, number of men was first 6 and now it's become 15. So that means the number of men has increased. So we draw an arrow this way since the number of men has increased. Now we know that when the number of men has increased, the number of days will decrease, isn't it? They will finish the work early. If 6 men take 90 days, 15 men, there are more men, they will finish the work early. So when the number of men have increased, the number of days required will decrease. So this is called inverse variation. So direct variation is when both increase or when both decrease. Now here this is increasing whereas this is decreasing. So we draw our arrow like this. So again this is inverse variation. Here the number of men is increasing whereas here the number of days is decreasing. So now we're going to make this an equation. Now see where the arrow head is. Wherever the arrow head is, we're going to write that as the numerator of a fraction. So here the arrowhead is at 6. So our fraction is going to be 6 by 15. And this is equal to, here the arrowhead is at x. So x is going to be the numerator, x by 20. So this is equal to x by 20. So now we can solve for x. So now let's find the value of x. So x will be equal to 6 by 15 and I'm going to transpose this 90 to the other side. Here it is division. When it goes to the other side, it becomes multiplication. 6 by 15 into 90. So now we can cancel and get our answer. So let me cancel this with 3. 3 2s are 6, 3 5s are 15 and cancel 90 and 5. So this will be 5 ones are 5 and this is 5 into 18 is 90. Now we just have to multiply the numerators. 2 into 18 is 36. So now we have found the value of x. X is 36. That means this is the number of days. Number of days that 15 men will take to complete the work. So our answer is 36 and we've already marked it in the options. Option 2, 36. So this is how we use the arrow method. This is one method that you can use and this is the arrow method and whichever is easier you can follow that. Question 4. A certain distance is covered in 20 minutes at an average speed of 24 kilometers per hour. What should be the average speed if the same distance is to be covered in 15 minutes? So here we are asked to find the speed. So let's start our statement by saying speed and write what is given to us. Speed in 20 minutes is given to us, that is 24 kilometers per hour. So let's write that. So in 20 minutes, it is 24 kilometers per hour. So now we have to find in 1 minute. Okay, now listen carefully children. In 20 minutes, if it is 24 kilometers per hour, the distance is covered in 1 minute. So if the same distance has to be covered in 1 minute, That means the speed has to be increased a lot, isn't it? Because in 20 minutes, if the speed is 24 kilometers per hour, if that same distance has to be covered in 1 minute, we have to increase the speed. So when we increase, we multiply. So whenever it is increase, remember you have to multiply. So 24 into 20 minutes. So 24 into 2 is 48. So put a 0. So the speed in 1 minute is for 480 kilometers per hour. Now we are asked to find if the same distance is to be covered in 15 minutes. So speed in 15 minutes. So 1 minute we had to hurry up. That's why the speed is high. Now there is more time, 15 minutes. That means the speed is going to become less. So we can divide 480 by 15. So let's divide this and see. We can divide it by 15 itself. 15 ones are 15 and here 48, 15 threes are 45, isn't it? And then we have 30. So 15 twos are 30. So 32 by 1 is 32. So the required speed in 15 minutes is 32 kilometers per hour. And that is option 4. So remember, this is option 4. Now let's do the same thing in the arrow system, the arrow method. So in the arrow method, remember, we have to make 2 columns. So what are the 2 columns? Look out for the numbers, then you'll be able to decide the columns. So here we have a number 20 and that is minutes. That means time, isn't it? Time. And here again we have a number and this is kilometers per hour. So this is speed. So now we know the time and speed. Now what are we asked to find? We are asked to find the average speed. So let's put the column speed first. So we have the column speed and then we have the column time. So now let's look at the question and write now 20 minutes, it's 24 kilometers per hour. So let's write here 20 minutes means time. 20 minutes, the speed is 24 kilometers per hour. So here we are asked to find the same distance covered. What will the average speed be? So we don't know the speed, so we are going to put x here and the time now is 15 minutes. So now look at the time. The time has decreased from 20 minutes to 15 minutes. The time has decreased. So let's draw our arrow. So we draw an arrow like this because the time has decreased. 20 minutes has now become 15 minutes. Now here in 20 minutes time, the speed was 24 kilometers per hour to reach a certain distance. Now the same distance has to be reached in 15 minutes. That means the time has reduced. That means the speed has to be increased. Only then they can reach that same distance. So the speed now has increased. So our arrow has pointed this way now. So now can you see, since the arrows are in opposite direction, this is inverse variation. So the variation is inverse. Here the time has decreased and here the speed has increased. Now again, like I said, see where the arrowhead is, put that number as the numerator. So here it becomes 24 by x is equal to, now here what is where is the arrowhead? It's at 15. So 15 by 20. So to find the value of x now we have to solve this. So as you can see, x is here in the denominator, isn't it? So when you find x here in the denominator, we need it in the numerator. So for that sake, we're going to do cross multiplication. We're going to multiply 24 and 20 and x and 15. So this will be equal to 24 into 20. This is equal to x into 15. Now we can find the value of x. We can say x is equal to 24 into 20 divided by 15. Now how did I get this? So x I'm going to leave it as it is. Now here 24 by 20 is on the other side of the equal to sign. I'm going to leave it as it is. Now 15, which is with x, I'm going to take it away from there. And here's multiplication. So I'm going to take it from there and put it along with these numbers. So now it becomes division. So I hope you understood how I got this. Now we're going to cancel. Let's see how to cancel this. I can cancel 15 and 20 by 5. 5 threes are 15, 5 fours are 20. Now I can cancel 24 and 3. 3 ones are 3 and 3 eights are 24. So now I can multiply my numerators. 8 fours are 32. This is 32 by 1. So now we know the value of x. X is equal to 32. And what is x? X is the speed in kilometers per hour. So let's write our answer, 32 kilometers per hour. So as you can see, the answer in this method is 32 kilometers per hour, and the answer in the arrow method is also the same. So you can choose which method to use. Question 5. 20 workers complete a certain piece of work in 28 days. The number of days required to complete half of this work by 8 workers is. So let's go about this carefully. Let's write in the first statement, number of days, 20 workers required to complete a certain piece of work. Okay, so there is one piece of work and 20 workers will require 28 days. So let's write that. So they will require 28 days. Now let's read the rest of it. The number of days required to complete half of this work by 8 workers. So half of this work first by 20 workers, then by 1 worker, and then we have to find by 8 workers. So let's write that. Number of days required to complete half of this work. So to complete the full work, it takes 28 days. To complete half of this work, it will take half of 28. That is 28 divided by 2, which is 14 days. So this is for 20 workers. Now we have to find for one worker, number of days one worker requires to complete half of this work. So when 20 workers are working together, they are finishing in 14 days. Suppose that same work has to be done only by one person, he will take many more days, isn't it? So we have to multiply. That is 14 days into how many workers? 20 workers. So this is going to become 14 into 2 is 28 with a 0. So number of days one worker will need is 280 days. Next is how many days 8 workers will require to complete half of this work. So if one worker takes so many days, if there are 8 workers, that work will be finished earlier, isn't it? So that means you need less number of days. So that is division. So that is 280 divided by 8. So let's divide this by 8. We can cancel with 4. 4 2s are 8. 4 into 70. Now we can cancel 70 and 2. 2 1s are 2. 2 into 35. So this is 35. And what will be asked to find? The number of days 8 workers require to complete half of this work. And we have found the answer. They require 35 days. So the answer here is 35 days, and it is given in the options also. Choose the correct option. 35 days means option 1, 35. So I hope you've understood, children. We will stop with this for now. In our next video, we will continue with the remaining questions. Thank you.